Welcome to another edition of the program Journalist Cafe, coming to you from Prism News Network here in Chicago, in the United States. Okay, today is the 14th of February, and it is 2 days to the election in Nigeria. It is on the Saturday. A lot of voters will go out to the polls to cast their vote for the candidate of their choice. Now, in this election, what is going on? We are talking about the pendulum today. Where is it swinging? Is it swinging towards the APC or the PDP, which are the two major contenders in the race? We do have other candidates. I need to mention that is very, very important that we do, because we do practice a democracy. We have other candidates, but we think the attention and the light has been on the main opposition party, which is the People's Democratic Party, and the incumbent party, which is the APC. So what's going to happen on Saturday? What is the body language of Nigerians? What is the body language of the voters? What are they telling us? Have we seen any major shift from where they were in 2015 when the first other election was conducted? These and more we'll be talking today on the program. And of course, I have with me my analyst extraordinaire, Mr. Dave Adeneko. Mr. Dave, welcome to the program.
Hello, Louis. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah, the election is around the corner. I can't wait.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, that's the spirit, that's the fever in the air now. Everybody's talking about the election. I was just telling a friend today, I said, I wish, they will work on something that will make it possible for Nigerians in the diaspora like us to be able to still cast our votes and make our voices heard.
You're very right about that. We should not be disenfranchised.
Okay.
We are Nigerians.
So I hope you guys, if you are listening out there, Nigerian government, you have to do something to make sure that you do not disenfranchise a certain group of, because we are Nigerian citizens, even though we are in the diaspora. Okay, now on today's program, like I said, we'll be talking mainly about the election and where the pendulum is swinging to. How is it going? So let me go take that quick question to Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave, what is the body language that you are seeing from the Nigerian electoral process?
Yeah, there's a lot of political events that have been unfolded for the past few days. We're looking at where the pendulum is swinging to as of today. In politics, nothing is certain. We can't say, oh, it's certain. We're looking at probability and where is it tilting to. And we have to look at numbers here. Where is the votes are? Which zone has that vote? Which zones are going to be the determinant factor of whoever is going to be the occupy the exalted office in 2019. And let's just look at some of the statistics here. Let's look at we have 6 geopolitical zones. We have the Northwest. The Northwest has the highest number of registered voters as of today. They have about 18 million. And out of that 18 million, we have 6 million people from Kano State, registered in Kano State. That's a lot. And that Northwest, that is the political base of President Muhammadu Buhari as of 2015. But, when you look at event that is unfolding, you consider the endorsement by the Iowa Elder Consultative Forum, led by Professor Ango Abdullahi, that speaks volumes. And I think with that, I want to suggest that President Muhammadu Buhari should not be sleeping with 2 eyes right now. Because when those people move, in a way, not my move.
So you do believe that those endorsements actually have a lot of political weight? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. The endorsement of the Elder Conservative Forum, the Iowa groups, the conservative groups, led by Ango Abdullahi, speak volumes. It speaks volumes because that is the minds of the feudal lords. To a large extent.
So who are they endorsing this time around?
Yeah, they endorse Atiku.
Wow.
And not only that, if you look at what is going on, there's a lot of factors that we have to look at in the Northwest, where the vote is. We also have to consider one factor too: the Shiite Muslim. The Shiite Muslim, they have about 5 to 10 million people in the Northwest political zones. We are talking about Sokoto, Kaduna, Kano. Kano has about 3 to 4 million Shia Muslim in Nigeria.
And are they not, is that not the group that have their leader that has been incarcerated for so long?
This is the time that the Shiites in that part of the country might have for their home pound of flesh.
Wow, it's going to be a very, very interesting outlook this summer.
Interesting.
Well, okay, let's talk about other parts of the country. We also, remember in this app when we're talking geopolitical zones, we also have. Don't forget the south. And I mean, we are talking about the south zone comprises of about 5 or 6 states, right? If I'm not wrong. We also have the northwest. We have the southeast, and we have the southwest. Where is the pendulum swinging when it comes to in relation to endorsement in those areas?
Well, don't forget that all the leaders of the socio-political group in the 6 zones in Nigeria, they all came together in an unprecedented manner and endorsed Atiku.
Wow.
I've been living for the power. I mean, I've been on the face of the world for more than 50 years now, and it has never happened where all of them will come together and endorse a particular candidate. I am not saying that endorsement might
translate to the win for Atiku,
but it speaks volumes. And I think by now the ruling party they need to work.
Wow.
They need to work hard to win this election.
I mean, if you're telling me that all the political heads from these zones are actually endorsing the candidate of the main opposition party, Atiku Abubakar, it's safe to say that the pendulum is moving towards the PDP. But do you think there's a chance that the PDP might take power from the APC?
Well, in politics, like I said, nothing is certain. We are looking at the probability based on figures, because don't forget that they are the ruling party and we have the power of incumbency. And don't forget that Buhari still have his own base. The Southwest has about 14 million votes registered as of 2019. 14 million votes. Southwest Lagos carry about 6 million. 6 million registered voters in Lagos State. But one factor I want us to consider is that the political will of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with that political will it be enough for this present government to carry Southwest? So let's look at that political will vis-a-vis what has happened in the past. Let's look at the election of Osun State and the election of Ekiti State. Just those are the recent elections. And if you look at those elections, you discover that the ruling party have to work extra hard. I won't say they reach because it has not been confirmed that they reach the election. But even though
international observers said there are a lot of irregularities.
And if you look at the margin, the margin between the ruling party and PDP is so slim. So even if the ruling party is going to win the Southwest, it's not going to be a slam dunk. It's not going to be a slam dunk, and it's going to be a battleground.
Okay, you're talking about the Southwest. I don't know if you're aware of there has been a little bit of shift when you take a closer look at both parties, their political rallies. Atiku has been going about doing political rallies. At least so far so good. We've not really heard anything negative as it was in the time of Jonathan. I remember when Jonathan went to was it Jos, that some of those youths came out and they actually throwing stones at some of his vehicles. But we've not seen that in the case of Atiku. However, I think it was just yesterday or day before yesterday, the president went to Ogun State, and I think he was met with a very disrespectful crowd. Some people are saying that it's a message to Bola Tinubu that Ogun State, Obasanjo is still relevant when it comes to the politics of Nigeria. Do you think that's the message they were trying to pass out?
It's not even just about Obasanjo. Don't forget that there is intra-party conflict within the ruling party. Intra-party conflict. When I say intra-party conflict, we are looking at the fact that the party is not cohesive right now. Because don't forget that even in Ogun State, Governor Amosun, the incumbent governor, has to sponsor another governor apart from his own party. Because there was the candidate of APC is not his own candidate. So he has to sponsor another political party to front a candidate against his own party. So we see there is a lot of intra-party conflict. They are not cohesive. And when you look at that, see when a house is divided, it
cannot stand. And then you look at the rally in Lagos too. The rally in Lagos was disappointing for a lot of Nigerians, because when you talk Lagos, you're talking about the Tinumbus of this world. You're talking about the Ambodies. And then the APC had a rally there. The turnout was not what was expected, you understand, of the ruling party. So does that mean that there's a political shift, that Nigerians are actually shifting away from the All Progressive Congress?
Well, if you want to look at Lagos, even before now, let's consider what happened in 2015.
Yeah.
Because we have to look at the antecedent,
Yeah.
the historical factors.
Yes.
In 2015, even when APC won Lagos, it was a slim margin.
Yes.
It was about 100,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't forget that Lagos is not just all Yoruba. We have other groups in Lagos. We have the South. Everybody want to come to Lagos. Even though I won't say that the Yorubas are not in the majority, but we have other people. And even within the Yorubas, they are not. Some of them are not even APC. Yeah. See. If the election is based on free and fair, like I said earlier, it's not going to be a slam dunk, based on the fact that Lagos is highly diverse. And there are a lot of interests that you have to consider in Lagos. And PDP is still strong in Lagos anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying they are strong as APC,
yeah.
but we have PDP
so what could it also be that people are actually getting tired of the kingmaker politics that is practiced in Lagos, that somebody comes in and say they don't actually, people, according to some analysts say, it's not even an election. It's a coronation of a king, because somebody just comes in and says, listen, this is going to be the next governor of Lagos, and everybody follows. Is it that people are actually getting tired of it, and people actually want to go there and want their voices to be represented?
Yes, we might want to test that hypothesis that you just said, that
yes.
people are tired of Baba Sokwe.
Yeah.
In my language, they say Baba Sokwe, imposition.
Yeah,
people might be tired of that, because if you look at what is going on in Lagos, even, don't forget that they did their congress in APC, and there was faction. There was another faction that was contesting the power of the Jagabon of Nigeria, the Lion of Bodino.
Okay.
Could you imagine one of his political sons that he nurtured? Oki.
Yes.
His name is, I think his name is something Oki.
Yeah.
He was one that nurtured him, and he was now sponsoring another faction, challenging the authority of the Jagabon himself. So if things like that could happen in Lagos, then I want to agree with you that people are not really happy.
Okay. Now let's come down a little bit to the south, the southeast area. The IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, came out. He has been in exile, or he's been on exile in the UK right now, and he has been coming and making statements, actually telling the people of the southeast not to go out and cast their vote not to participate in the election. That's the message he has been saying now. And some leaders of the Niger Delta has been coming and said that is not the right message to pass out at this time. They need to participate in the politics because that is the only way they can change their cause. What do you think that is the right thing for Nnamdi Kanu to be telling his formulas? People who look up to him, who listen to him, because whether they participate or not, the elections will go on and it will be counted. Is that a disadvantage for them?
Well, there's a lot of agitation going on in the country right now. Apart from the hypo, the Niger Delta, so they have your agitation. Even the Yoruba could, but the one that is so obvious now is that of hypo, like you just said.
Yeah.
See, when you look at the Igbos right now, where does their interest really lies? Now with APC, they have Obi. That's the strong.
Yes.
And don't forget, for a very long time, we have not seen an Igbo man.
They've been marginalized
as a president or as a vice president. The last vice president that they had was Alese Kweme of blessed memory. And since Baba Alese Kweme, since that time, we have never seen Igbo maybe number 1 or number 2. So this is their chance.
Yes.
But another question we have to ask ourselves is that what is the electoral values of the Igbos in this election? If you look at the figures.
Yes, that's what I want you to analyze that figure for us.
If you look at the figure, they have the least. Southeast has the least electoral values. 8,293,000 registered voters. That's what they have right now. I'm not saying that 8 million cannot make a difference, but I'm just saying that they have the list.
Okay.
So, and if that vote that they need to use to actually negotiate themselves to the top, if they now
withdraw
it or reduce it, because look at what is going on in the East now. They've been burning the electoral offices.
Yes.
They burned one in Anambra. I think they burned one in another place. You know, just to disenfranchise people from voting.
Yeah.
So the question is, what are they going to gain from that?
Yes.
I mean, what are they going to get from that? And is this Biafra that the Igbos are clamoring for, is it real? I'm not saying it's not real. How real it is?
Or is that even the way to go forward?
Or is that the way to go forward? Because Atiku is saying that it will restructure the country. Because everything is all about restructuring. People are saying there should be resources control. People want to control their resources. They want a weaker center, whereby people will now say, you know what, we want to give, this is what we can only give to the central government to manage the affair of the country.
Yes.
Everybody should develop at his own space. That is what people are saying. And I think that is in line with why they are agitating for Biafra. They want resources control. It's all about resources control.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going to be their gain if they don't participate massively and use this 8 million votes. Use it massively to achieve something, because they have the least electoral value right now.
Yeah.
And when you look at South has more electoral value, 11 million. That's a lot. Don't forget that we have River State in
Bayelsa, there's Edo State.
River State has the largest electoral value, followed by Delta State.
Yes.
There are 11 million people in South. That is why Buhari went to River State.
Yes.
That is why Buhari is not happy that people are not that the
APC nullified
the Supreme Court just nullified all the candidates
of the APC.
And that means something. Do you know what that means? That means that the energy to campaign for the party will be reduced. Because people are not contesting. It's just about Buhari.
Yes.
See, so that collective interest is not there. So definitely they're going to lose a lot of votes in that particular state. And don't forget, traditionally, River State has always been PDP. Okay.
Well, you are still watching the program Journalist Cafe, and we have been talking to Mr. Dave Adeneko, who is always on board to analyze issues in Nigeria. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we shall be talking about registered votes and the value it has, an actual vote casted. What is the difference in Nigeria? What has been the antecedents? And let's see, let's talk a little bit on what is going to happen in this election, if there's going to be a shift. Don't go away. Welcome back to the program Journalist Cafe, and we still have in the studio Mr. Dave Adeneko. We've been talking a lot about election. It's 2 days to the election, so it's election all the way until after Saturday. Now, we before we went on break, we talked a little bit about registered voters. Mr. Dave, I want you to analyze how it has been in the electoral process in Nigeria. We have big numbers. We see INEC coming out with big numbers of registered voters, but does it always translate to actual voters on election day?
That's a very, very good question. Because when you look at the figures in 2015,
yes,
69 millions were registered voters throughout
the country. Yes.
And at the end of the day, only 29 millions votes.
So they had 69 million registered voters, and only 29 actually cast their vote
at the end of the day. So and if you look at Kano State, particularly Kano State, I think people are being suspicious of Kano State in 2015 because the number of votes cast is more than the number of votes registered. I think that was established. I think don't forget that the resident electoral commissioner in Kano State were eliminated.
Yes,
they
yeah.
were killed, his family were eliminated.
Wiped out, yes.
Up till now, no investigation carried out. We didn't know why that guy, what happened from that. You know, nobody's saying that somebody killed him.
Yeah.
But they were, immediately after the election, that guy
he was killed. I remember very well. Yeah.
He was killed.
Yeah.
But see, sometimes things backfired. That was when the election was between somebody from the south and somebody from the north. Now it's somebody from the...
In fact, both tribes from the same tribe.
From the tribe. And we're going to see truly if Kano State has that number in this election. Because don't forget, Atiku is up to the task. Buhari men too, they are up to the task. So they're going to be watching each other. Okay. So Nigeria will know what is going on in Kano State. I'm not saying that there is any woo in Kano State, but statistically, by the time they are like each other watchdog, the real figure will come out.
Yeah, but okay, let me ask you this: why do you think, like in the 2015 election, why do you think we have so many registered voters and on election day they don't come out? Is it a lack of faith in the process itself?
Yeah, you see, I won't even say a lack of faith in the process, because you see, this issue of rigging and manipulation of figure. See, when you rig election, the rigging of election is not on the day of election. The rigging of election is starts. The process of rigging an election starts from the party primaries. See, when you impose a candidate from your party, the election has already been rigged. That means that what that means is that, you know,
it's not the choice of the people. Yes, and
people are not happy because
so
they are imposing.
So they kind of turn off from the process.
There will be political apathy.
Yes,
people say, you know what, it's not my candidate, I'm not going to vote for him. So that is why. See, and again, all these political actors in Nigeria, we cannot trust them. Don't forget, this guy, what's his name? Mentu. You remember Mentu?
Yes.
Mentu came out. Mentu. The from the north.
Yes.
The Mentu. I think it was the minority senate leader, something like that in the north. You know, he came out and exposed them that the election was during Obasanjo.
Yes, I think I remember. I remember that man. Yes.
You know what he was?
That he actually carried out
under Obasanjo that they were rigging the election. They were writing figures.
Yeah, I think I was.
And you know, his conscience just caught up with him, and he was trying to make peace with God, because he's thinking that he's going to die now, so they want to die peacefully. That's why he's now saying the truth. We are forgiving him anyway. But at least he let us know the truth that in Nigeria they are always rigging the election.
Okay, Dave, I want you to talk a little bit about the voters' attitude in this election.
And don't get me wrong, when I say rigging the eletion, cut across all the major political parties.
I understand. Of course, there's no
PDP cut across the major political parties.
I understand that. Yeah. So now let's talk about the electorate itself. I've noticed that there's a big shift. And when I say there's a big shift, it's as if Nigerians are more politically engaged. Before you talk about that, let's take a quick look at some of the videos that some Nigerians are casting when it comes to I've been seeing a lot of videos online on the normal, which used to be what Nigerian politicians do. They buy votes during the election. They give out stuff, food stuff and all that. But it seems Nigerians are actually reacting with a lot of disgust and apathy at what these politicians are presenting this election cycle. Like, they are telling themselves, my future is worth more than this. So I don't know, there's a shift.
You're talking about the Gary, the rice.
Yes, but let's take a look at some of these videos, and then when we come back, I want you to analyze that for us.
Federation. Sawo rice. Sawo beans. Sawo ororo. Oh my God, food done. Sawo rice. Are you serious? Sawo rice. Sawo gari. Sawo sugar. Sawo salt. This will be eating for the next 4 years. If you don't manage it, most must only if you want to die of hunger.
Tájúmọ̀bí ni ẹ máa jẹ ní o ní o kúlíkúlí lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́jọ ní gómìnà.
Olówó ní mu gàrí àti kúlí òní o. No. Hey God, Nigeria, see ABC, Nagari ABC, Nigeria, ABC, make una beg, I want kilo like Nagari una dey do Kagari, Ijebu Gari.
Olam. So now the next level be this.
Now for 4 years APC, Gary.
No sugar, no meat.
No sugar, no meat, Gary. You know this Gary. Olúwa mi o.
Okay, so those were some of the compilation of some Nigerians. You can see in that video, you can see the way they are reacting to some of the food items that were given to them. Some of them are even crying that what is going on in this country? This is what people are giving to. But we've never seen a thing like that in any election cycle in Nigeria. Nigerians, everyday Nigerians, the layman on the street actually coming out to have a voice and say, listen, my life, my future is worth more than this. This is not going to work this time. Why do you think there is political engagement among Nigerians more than ever before in this election cycle?
I think here we have to understand that the political culture is changing. The political culture is changing because people now realize that, during election, this politician, they will come, they will give me 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, I will cast my vote for them. Then for the next 4 years, my son will not have a job. I will lose my job. I can't even send my kids to school. And they now, they attach more values to their votes. And when people attach more values to their votes, definitely the culture will change. That's what we are seeing. And again, is the media. The media, particularly the social media, is really helping now.
Yes, I was going to come to that. Like, is it exposure to the social media? Because does it mean that the social media gives them an outlet to really voice what is going on within? Is that what? Because we've never seen a thing like this before.
You just said you just hit the nail on the head. The social media give them some kind of leverage to be able to understand what is going on. Because in the past, before the advent of the social media, the traditional media, before that was being controlled by these political actors. Like when you consider the Lagos Ibadan has this media,
yes.
You know that my uncle Bola, he got them in his hand.
Yeah. And the information they actually pass out to electorate is packaged information. It's what they want them to hear, what they want them to know.
You notice very well, if you look at Punch today,
yes.
If you look at Vanguard today, you will never see them, going after
some of these politicians.
Particularly the ruling party in Lagos State. You dare not go after the ruling party in Lagos State. But social media has taken over their job.
Okay.
They are now telling them, you know what, we can, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram information.
Yes.
Even see, I want to deviate. I want to digress a little bit. See, ritualism has always been there, but people don't know. But with social media, we are now exposing it.
Yes.
There's always been cannibalism and ritualism in Nigeria. But social media now expose it and amplify it.
Yeah.
It's there. See it.
So is Nigerians actually saying through social media that you are not going to tell our story, we will tell our story ourselves, and this is our reaction to these politicians? No more. We are aware of what we are doing. Even though the main media has not allowed us to really give a feedback, but they are aware now. They are showing that they are aware. They see these politicians. They know what they are up to. They know that they come and give them this stuff is not even worth, what they steal or take away from them. So I don't know. I think it's a very, very wonderful thing that the social media is doing when it's in terms of creating some kind of political awareness in Nigeria. What do you think?
You are very, very correct, my sister. That is what is going on in Nigeria now. The political culture is changing. People get to understand that. You know what? Your children. They're right there in London, England, going to school. They're not even in Nigeria. Our children cannot even afford 3-meal school and cannot even go to school. And don't even forget that even in Nigeria right now, look at the level of poverty. Nigeria made the world map as the second largest country with extreme poverty. That is unprecedented.
Yeah.
That's so sad. And you see, the poverty is all over the land, and the GPS, the GPD is low, is the lowest in 10 years. So all these factors, people are seeing, and no job. There is no job.
Unemployment.
Our unemployment rate is very, very high. So with the gari that you're going to give me now, will you solve my joblessness? With the gari that you're going to give me now, how long would that last me? People now start to realize that, you know what, this is not about gari, this is about my life.
This is about my future. Okay, as we always do on the program, we like to hear from some Nigerians on their thoughts on the electoral process that is ongoing right now. Let's hear from some Nigerians, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about the 2019 election. Don't go away.
Well, I think for me, the front four runners for these 2019 elections in Nigeria are, in no particular order, Fela Duro-Toye, the Take It Back man, Omoyele Sowore, Muhammadu Buhari, the incumbent president, and of course the Turaki of Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar. And where does the pendulum swing? I think it's going to be a street battle between the incumbent, President Muhammadu Buhari, and Atiku Abubakar. Sadly so, because of the people's orientation. But I think Atiku Abubakar edges it because of some major factors like the endorsement from the US, the feelings from the people, especially from we here out here in Cotonou, Nigerians out here in Cotonou. I think we feel there should be a breath of change. Yes, and I think Atiku Abubakar edged it somehow. Though the president is coming strong with incumbency, but I still think Atiku Abubakar edges a little. Thank you.
Well, the electoral roadmap to 2016 February election in Nigeria, the victor increasingly looks like the PDP and Atiku. Suddenly, Atiku and the PDP, they are rampaging. They are making all stops. They are getting important endorsements from the northern cabal, who previously were supporting Buhari and the APC. Now all the accusation of corruption against Atiku are gone. They are now endorsing Atiku. Now in the north, the loyalty there is unshaken. Usually they follow whatever the leader says. They are quite different from other zones, from south, southwest, and the southeast. The eastern region is a different matter entirely. They are going to go for PDP. No matter. Buhari came there, he got a lukewarm acceptance there. He had to limp out of the east, hoping the south and Tinubu will help him salvage victory in 7 days. I can't see that happening. Atiku is surging. Look, 19 states in the north. Buhari will be lucky to have 6. Now, should we get to southwest? Well, maybe Lagos and the Tinubu and his hijack of Lagos can help. Then when we move to the east, they will go with Atiku because of the OB surge, his vice president, the surge, and his resume is very, very attractive. Buhari openly will limp to victory come February 16. Suddenly, Atiku and the PDP, they may have to dust him off and claim victory. We are today Democrat. Best wishes.
The 4 major parties that we have are APC, PDP, AAC,
YPP. And with the look of things, there is a street fight between APC and PDP, which we know that either of these two parties are going to win the race. Well, if I'm to say, PDP is gaining more strength and is likely to win the presidential election. APC will use the power of incumbency, and that is it has been routine in Nigeria that the power of incumbency know and find its way back to the throne. I'm not supporting any of the party. I would rather support Omoyele Sowore because of what he carried, because of who he is. I've listened to him, and I know he's the type of candidate that we know we need in this present age. Thank you.
We have been hearing from some Nigerians on their opinions on the issue of the election, the 2019 election. Now, Dave, before we left, we were talking about the election, of course, is the main topic because, of course, the election is in 2 days. I want to ask you, as a political analyst, where do you think the pendulum is swinging? What is your projection for this election?
Well, you know, when you look at the electoral roadmap claim victory for Atiku, looking at the pendulum where it's sinking to. I'm not saying that, you know, for a certain Atiku is going to win, because in politics, 24 hours is a lot. See, they can go back to the drawing board, and before you know it, they just strategize. And, you know, but right now, if you look at the events, the unfolding events in the country, based on that, not my opinion, based on that event, the pendulum is swinging towards Atiku if there is a free and fair election in Nigeria. And I'm going to analyze it for you zone by zone. Okay. Let's start from the list. Southeast, which is the Indigo. Even though we've just analyzed that there's some kind of apathy, because they are not going to vote. But myself and you, we already know that if you look at the history of this present republic, the East has always been voting for PDP. And most of the governors in that part of the country, they are PDP governors. So we give that to Atiku. Okay. South. That, of course, we know. We have the influential Jonathan there already. They're going to pay back. It's a payback time for them. You didn't allow a man. You know, it's just politics. You didn't allow a man. No, but don't forget that South is not just Bayelsa, Rivers. We also have Ondo. That has, I think the AP is an APC governor. We have Edo State. Edo has an APC governor. Ondo and Edo, if you look at the electoral values, the real electoral value in South is in Delta and Rivers State. Okay. Delta and Rivers, that's the electoral value. So that's what we are talking about. That's why the vote is. So when we consider all of that, we still want to give South to Atiku. However, President Muhammadu Buhari might make some little inroad because of Edo State. But I want to tell you today that apart in the East, apart from in the South, apart from Edo and Ondo State, Buhari might not have 25% of the vote cast in other states. Like Bayelsa, and even Bayelsa, he might not have it. And even Edo is still in question because Edo is kind of divided. If you were talking about the Bini area, all those on one west,
APC. But when you're going down to Eastern land, all those places are PDPs.
Even don't forget that the person of this world.
Yes, he's very influential also
of this world.
Yes.
So I don't see a Buhari winning South.
Okay.
South, let's give it to Atiku.
Okay.
Okay, let's go down now. Southwest. Southwest is a battleground.
Okay.
We've already analyzed it.
Yes.
And we have seen that in the last gubernatorial election, the recent gubernatorial that was held in Ekiti,
yes,
and Osun State, that they have to fight and fight, and even the international community, they observed that there was a lot of irregularities.
Yeah.
So, and even after they declared the result, it was a very slim margin. So definitely it's not going to be a slam dunk. And don't even forget that the wife of Atiku, the first thing to be, if Atiku wins, Titi Atiku is from Osun State.
Yes.
So he has
there's an advantage
there too. And don't also forget that the PDM of this world was resurrected about 4 or 5 days ago. You remember the PDM, the Shehu Yaradua group that was very, very powerful.
Yes.
They are grassroots mobilizers.
Yeah.
It has been resurrected. And that group spread to some part of Southwest. That was why Shehu Yaradua won in that time. During PFM, remember he won against even the son of the soil in Oyo State, and some western states. So that group has been resurrected. For Atiku, and Atiku is the anointed leader. So there's going to be a lot of power play in Southwest. But let's just say, you know what? Let's say Southwest will tilt towards PMB because of Uncle Bola.
Yes.
South to Atiku. However, President Muhammadu Buhari might make some little inroad because of Edo State. But I want to tell you today that apart in the east, apart from in the south, apart from Edo and Ondo State, Buhari might not have 25% of the vote cast in other states. Like Bayelsa,
and even
Bayelsa, he might not have it.
And even Edo is still in question because Edo is kind of divided. If you were talking about the Bini area, all those on one west, you were talking APC. But when you're going down to Eastern land, all those places are PDPs.
Even don't forget that the person of this world.
Yes. He's very influential also
of this world.
Yes.
So I don't see a Buhari winning South.
Okay.
South, let's give it to Atiku.
Okay,
let's go down now. Southwest is a battleground.
Okay.
We've already analyzed it.
Yes.
And we have seen that in the last gubernatorial election, the recent gubernatorial that was held in Ekiti,
yes,
and Osun State, that they have to fight and fight, and even the international community, they observed that there was a lot of irregularities. So, and even after they declared the result, it was a very slim margin. So definitely it's not going to be a slam dunk. And don't even forget that the wife of Atiku, the first thing to be, if Atiku wins, Titi Atiku is from Osun State.
Yes.
So he has
there's an advantage
there too. And don't also forget that the PDM of this world was resurrected about 4 or 5 days ago. You remember the PDM, the Shehu Yaradua group that was very, very powerful.
Yes.
They are grassroots mobilizers. It has been resurrected. And that group spread to some part of Southwest. That was why Shehu Yaradua won in that time. During PFM, remember he won against even the son of the soil in Oyo State, and some western states. So that group has been resurrected. For Atiku, and Atiku is the anointed leader. So there's going to be a lot of power play in Southwest. But let's just say, you know what? Let's say Southwest will tilt towards PMB because of Uncle Bola, the influence, the powerful influence of Uncle Bola. And don't also forget that the incumbent governors of those states, they are from the ruling party. So we cannot, in a way, underrate the power of the incumbency. So in a way, we're going to what? You know what?
Just toss it. It'll be a toss up.
Buhari can take Southwest, but it's not going to be a slam dunk.
Okay.
I can assure you that.
Okay.
If Buhari is going to win in Southwest, it's going to be like, based on free and fair election, be like 5%,
difference. Okay.
So there will not much, much gain, much electoral gain. Now let's go to the north, where the votes are. North Central, where we have the issue of the herdsmen.
Yes.
The herdsmen,
Boko Haram.
The Boko Haram. Look at Benue State. Benue State, the herdsmen is the North Central.
Yes.
The herdsmen. The issue of the real issue in the North Central is the herdsmen, whereby we have the herdsmen taking over people's land in Benue State, Plateau State, you know, killing people, you know, and you know,
taking over their farms,
and all of that. That is in Benue State. And the problem they have there is that the nonchalant attitude of Mr. President towards those issues. And not only that, you know, this is not to be biased or to support anybody, but it is also glaring that there is some kind of political undertone when it comes to the issue of the farmers and the herdsmen. Because don't forget that in the past, we never see the herdsmen carrying AK-47. All of a sudden, when President Muhammadu Buhari, a Fulani man, won the election, we started seeing them carrying AK-47. You know, I think there is something wrong with that. And because of that, and you have never even seen any herdsmen up till now that have been prosecuted in Nigeria for killing somebody or for taking over people's land. And don't even forget what Adesina said, the spokesman for Mr. President, that if you don't give people, if you don't give them their land, if you don't want to give them their land, they will kill you. I mean, that's what he said. He said it. It's in the news. So because of all these issues, I am giving the North Central to Atiku. Okay. It's going to Atiku. Okay. Benue is going to Atiku. Okay. Don't forget the influence of that David Mark. And don't forget Danjuma. Yes. Danjuma in Plateau. David Mark in Benue State. And Dino Mene in Kogi State. Dino Mene, you might be seeing that. You might be saying, oh, Dino Mene, he doesn't know what he's doing. Dino Mene is a grassroots man. That was when they did the record, they were not able to defeat him. Even in jail. They did a record, they did a record, and they were not able to defeat Dimonaye because Dimonaye is, see, in Kogi State, we have the Igala. We have the Iyagba. Those are the Yoruba area. They are the majority. The present governor of Kogi State is from, I think it's Igbira, and they are the minority. So they don't really have the vote. So and they already declared now that they're going to vote for Atiku. So Atiku is taking Kogi State. He's taking Benue State. He's taking Plateau State. He's taking Kwara State. Let's say, you know what? It's a battleground because of the influence of the governor, Uncle Lai Mohammed. He's a battleground. Let's but
don't forget that the Senate president is also from Kwara State.
It's a battleground. It's a battleground. Taraba is going for Atiku because don't forget in Taraba State is Christian Muslim.
Jonathan won that state.
He won the state and it's a PDP state. So let's give North Central to who? To Atiku. Okay. Now let's go to Northeast, where we have the Boko Haram of this world. Northeast is slipping from the hands of Mr. President.
Why do you say so?
I'm going to tell you why. Bauchi State, for example, the governor of Bauchi State is not popular. The people in that state said they don't want the governor. So, but the president said that is what he wants. And because of that, he might not win Bauchi State. In fact, they are saying he's not going to win in Bauchi State. And not only that, the Speaker of the House is from Dogara. He's from Bauchi State. And also forget the factor of Christian in Bauchi and the Boko Haram of this world in Bauchi State too. Bauchi State is tilting towards Atiku. Wow. Adamawa just two last all of them. All of them declare their support for Atiku. At this point, as of today, if there is no any game change, I am giving the Northeast to Atiku. Now, the main Northwest, 18 million people. That is where the battle is. Kano State, Kaduna State, Sokoto, Katsina. My sister, don't forget the influence of the PDM in Katsina. Katsina is the home of Shehu Yaradua, and Shehu Yaradua is the godfather of Atiku. So if you look at the rally that PDP did in Katsina, you will see the crowd. So Atiku is going to make a big inroad in Katsina State. I'm not going to say Atiku is going to win Katsina State, but he's going to make a big inroad. He's going to reduce the electoral values that President Muhammadu Buhari had in 2015, in 2019. Now in Kaduna State, I'm projecting Kaduna State for Atiku if the election is free and fair. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of two factors. The southern Kaduna is Christian. And 30 to 40% of people in Kaduna State, they are Christian. And they are in what? In southern Kaduna. They are not going to vote for El-Rufai. Yes. They are going to vote for PDP. Now, the factor that will actually work against El-Rufai in Kaduna State is the Shia Muslim. The Shia Muslim, because the leader of the Shia Muslim, Ibrahim Zakzaki, is still in detention up till now, and they're going to take their pound of flesh from Mr. President. Watch out. So Kaduna State, I give it to Atiku.
Okay.
Kano State, that is where the biggest electoral votes in the north is. We're talking about more than 5 million votes in Kano State. President Muhammadu Buhari won Kano State in 2015. He won it. But don't forget now that President Muhammadu Buhari is contesting against another Fulani man, a Muslim like him. So the issue of north-south dichotomy will not arise in this election. It's going to be, who know how to play the game.
And plus, don't forget the influence of Kwankwaso.
So that's what I'm telling you. Look at the rally in Kano State. Look at the rally. They were able to pull a lot of crowd. In fact, you cannot say that the crowd that APC pulled in Kano is more than
comparable to that
of PDP. So based on this factor, I want to say that Kano State is still swinging like this.
Okay.
And don't forget that the share in Kano State are about 2 to 3 million people. They're still going to take their pound of flesh from Mr. President.
Okay.
Sokoto State. Sokoto State.
Yeah.
Don't forget Sokoto State. Tambuwa is the governor of Sokoto State. The only man that APC has in Sokoto State is Wamako. And Wamako is a dormant member of APC. The only reason why Wamako is in APC today is because he has been indicted by EFCC. There was a time he crossed his mind to go back to PDP. Immediately, my uncle Bola from Lagos, he ran to Sokoto and said, "Hey, mister, I am from Abuja. If you dare it, you will pay for it." Then that's why he remained quiet. I can tell you authoritatively, Sokoto, let me use the word authoritatively. The probability that Sokoto is going to go for Atiku is very, very high because of Tambuwa. Is the incumbent president, is a smart guy, he's clever, and he knows the button to press to get the votes.
Okay.
So, where is it? But pendulum swinging to? If there is a free and fair election, if there is a free and fair election today in Nigeria, the pendulum, as of today, because in politics nothing is certain, is swinging to the Turaki of Adamawa himself, Atiku.
Okay. All right, you've been hearing those analyses from Mr. Dave Adeneko. It still remains to be seen. These are just analysis and his own projection as a political analyst. But it still remains to be seen on Saturday who actually will take the prize. Now, before we go, I just want to quickly give Mr. Dave an opportunity to give us the last word before we round up the program for this week. Mr. Dave, any last word?
Yeah, my last word for Nigeria is the power of one vote. See, a lot of people say that, oh, after all, I only have one vote. But your one vote can make a difference. In 1949, one vote cost Charles I of England. It cost him his death in the parliament. Just one vote. In 1654, one vote gave Oliver Cromwell the control of England. In 1776, one vote gave American English language instead of German language. Just one vote. By now, if not because of that one vote, myself and you sitting right here would have been speaking German. In 1839, one vote elected Marcus Monty, the governor of state of Massachusetts. Just one vote difference. To let you know that your vote is very, very important and it can make a difference. In 1845, one vote brought Texas into the Union. In 1876, one vote changed France from monarchy to republic. In 1929, one vote made Adolf Hitler, the leader of Nazi's party. That one vote that he got made him the leader of Nazi's party. If not because of that one vote,
There will not be history of Adolf Hitler.
And there might not be Holocaust today.
Yeah.
There might not be, the Jews being massacred today. But just because of that one vote that made the difference with the Jews, that led to the Holocaust and the Jews being massacred. Masterminded by Adolf Hitler. Lastly, in 1960, Richard Nixon lost the election in the United States to John F. Kennedy just because of less than 1% votes in the Princess. He lost that election. Nigerians, your vote is as important as your destiny. Go out there, use your PVC wisely.
Okay, you've heard it all from Mr. Dave Adenekon. On Saturday, go out there peacefully, cast your vote. Your vote is as important as your destiny. That's the word from Mr. Dave Adenekon. That's our package today on this edition of the program. We'll see you on the next edition. That will be after the election, where we'll be analyzing the results of the 2019 election. I am Isimeme Stephen. Mr. Dave, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Izzy. I see you after the election.
All right.
I hope my projection comes to pass.
We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and watch. Okay, that's the package for this week. We'll see you next week.